Hello, hello, all my sister goddesses here in the Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs Facebook group. I am Sensei Victoria Whitfield. I happen to be the world's first business Reiki master. You can find me at naturalintuition.com, or you can come and visit me over on my podcast on iTunes called the Journeypreneur Podcast. We'd love to hear from you there. But I wanted to go live here in this Facebook group to share a bit about Reiki healing, specifically for sales shame and sales scars. Now, if that's something that speaks to you, I would love to know if it does. Give me a thumbs up, a heart, or put hashtag live if you're watching live, so I know if you're with me. And this, for me, is a topic, by the way, that I personally have been journeying with for well over a decade myself, as well as healing and doing energy clearing specifically around our relationship with abundance in my own entrepreneur circles. So again, if this speaks to you, go ahead and put hashtag live. Hi, Sonia, if you are watching live for this live energy clearing. And if you are watching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay so I know to love you up and thank you for being part of this experience. So let's get to it. What do I mean when I say sales scars and sales shame? So let me tell a story. I remember when I was a baby Reiki master and the point of learning Reiki was to practice it and to heal myself. That was more of why I got into Reiki, because I was personally healing from a broken heart. It was a really bad breakup where I lost a big chunk of my own personal identity. Like, I had tied it into the relationship, and I wanted to heal after the end of that awful breakup. And so that's why I started studying Reiki in the first place, for my own personal healing. And part of practicing Reiki, by the way, if you are a Reiki practitioner, a Reiki master, right, a Reiki person, type Reiki in the chat below, because I want to connect with my Reiki family here. And always, everywhere. That's actually why I ended up going on a world tour. I didn't know I was gonna. I was just like, oh, I want to visit all the people that I love who are awesome energy people. And then so-and-so would say, well, aren't you coming to India? Aren't you coming to Italy? Aren't you coming to Miami? Aren't you coming to Chicago? And then, so that was a 2-year adventure that I had a lot of fun on. But again, when I was learning Reiki initially, a big part of learning energy work is practicing on yourself and others. So I want you to write this down. A big part of my healing journey is practicing on myself and others, right? So healing yourself and others. And don't leave out the and others, right? And don't leave out yourself. A big part of my healing journey is practicing on myself and others. So when I was a baby Reiki master, a part of getting in tune with the flow of healing energy was practicing the forms. And so I would go and volunteer at a local rock gem and crystal store. They had oracle cards and things. It was a wonderful spiritual spot in downtown Westfield. One of my favorite places, where I was hanging out here in New Jersey, by the way. Shout out to all of my Jersey peeps, if any are watching. And I would go there to volunteer to share Reiki. And I made a commitment to myself and my practice to show up to sharing Reiki on a regular basis. It was Mondays 1 to 4, I believe, if I remember this correctly. And so I would be there on site sharing Reiki every single week from 1 to 4 consistently. And from there, what I would do is I would actually find that people were coming back consistently, one after another, wanting to not just practice the Reiki with me, but they wanted to be part of the healing experience. And one thing led to another after several months of showing up consistently, that some people wanted to give me a gift in the form of money. Right? So can I buy you a sandwich? Can I pay for your parking? Do you do sessions, or all these types of things? I was not at all there for the money. That was not the reason why I was showing up. I was there simply showing up for the practice of sharing Reiki and grounding and clearing my energy and other people's energy by extension. And so I would say no. And the things that I would say at the time, by the way, let me know if this at all sounds familiar to you, is, you know, it's not about the money. This is about helping people. Or no, I just, you know, I really love sharing energy, so that's okay. I'm all right. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. That I would constantly push away people wanting to give me money. And I also would think to myself, well, you know, making money is not spiritual. And so Reiki is very spiritual. The two should not be combined. Like there was this deep pattern of blocking money. And I can go even deeper on this. And by the way, can I go deeper? If I'm allowed to continue to go deeper, please type in the chat box below. Yes, you can. Yes, you can go deeper. Because not only was this having to do with my own beliefs about Reiki in particular, but it started hearkening me back to religion and growing up in the church, where I grew up in charismatic Baptist church, where, you know, the preacher rocks the house down and into a sweat and wipes themselves down, and then they start passing around the collection plate. Collection plate 1, collection plate 2, collection plate 3, and it started to get like this kind of weird feeling in relationship to being at church. Thank you, Diana, by the way. Thank you, sis. I started having this kind of weird feeling around money in relationship to spiritual stuff. It started making me feel like, okay, if I'm having a very spiritual moment, I owe somebody, or I owe what I gotta pay my way to connect with God or something like that. So long story short, I had some wounds ever since childhood around money and receiving sales. So that's different than receiving donations, but even still, donations should just happen. You should never ask for them, because then you're being rude, you're being unspiritual, you're being a slime ball. And in fact, I remember I had this distinct image of a money-grubbing slime ball salesperson in my head. It was like this kind of fat, middle-aged older man that was balding and greasy, right? You could like tell that he was greasy, and had the gold chains, and he was a car salesman. And side note, I've had this experience before of trying to go and buy a car, and someone who was miseducated in how to sell a car would walk up and say to me, "Hey baby, that's your car. I know it." And I'm no, we're gonna keep it moving. Hashtag nope. Right? You just lost the sale. Hey baby, that's your car. But anyway, those were some of the scars that I was coming into. Oh my gosh, receiving money and my relationship with sales of like, no. There's a sense of shame, or what I'm doing is holier than money, right? What the gift that I'm given, the fact that I'm practicing Reiki is above money and as some sort of an energetic exchange. So there's that. But I hope I have your permission. I'm going to keep asking for permission because I believe permission is sexy. Is it okay if I continue to go even deeper into this? Because I want to share my sales scars and money shame. I want to reveal it so that you feel the courage to reveal yours to yourself. You don't have to reveal yours to me, but I want you to know that there's another sister out there who may understand what you're going through. Hi, Julia. So I just want to ask permission. Is it okay if I continue to go a little bit deeper into this sales scars and sales shame issue? Because for me, as a woman in particular, for like on top of the charismatic spiritual person, a woman of color, like person of color, the raised in the church, etc. On top of that, I want to talk about me specifically being female in relationship to sales and money. So, by the way, type it in the comments below. Do I have your permission to continue to go deeper? And I want you to know I'm asking for your consent on purpose. I'm not just trying to ask for your consent to be compelling on camera. This is actually, so just as a side note, asking for your consent, asking for a viewer's consent, asking for a woman's consent is empowering to everyone who witnesses. It's empowering to the people who are watching and who are listening in. Because they say, yes, I'm here. I'm okay to go deeper. It's empowering to the person who is speaking, because that also makes me feel safe of like, I have permission to keep on talking and to keep on sharing this healing energy. It's safe for me to give. It's also empowering for all those who witness the exchange of the consent to say, look at that. Consent is being exchanged. This is safe. I feel safe, even though I'm not the one expressly asking for consent or giving consent. And so, well, hi, Reiki Chow. Hi, Zaina. Hey, sis, I love you. Good to see you. Who else is down there? Hi, Petra. Thank you. So thank you for your consent, sisters. I'm going to keep going deeper because another reason why I ask for consent, another layer down underneath my sales scars, the first few that I've shared, if you're just tuning in, another layer underneath that is, I know what it's like to be sexually touched without giving my consent. I know what it's like, unfortunately, and I'm doing my best to remain grounded and not burst into rage when I think about being attacked. But I do know what it's like to have non-consensual touch and to have non-consensual sex. And if you have had that experience, you do not have to respond. And I want you to know, I stand by you, sis, because this is extremely painful and is something that is formative and really breaks apart and also breaks open trust. I could speak for myself. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have a breach of consent. Of no, I didn't ask for that. No, I don't want it. And even though my body is having responses that would make one think that I didn't want it and I didn't ask for that would make you think that, oh, I do, or something like that. This is just my body being a body that has nothing to do with my own point of view as a human being and my own values. GTFO, right? Thank you. And so that, for me, we're talking about sales scars and sales shame. For me personally, I don't know if this one's going to speak to you, but I'm going to reveal this sales scar on behalf of the community before we get into the Reiki healing. For me, non-consensual sales is just as bad as non-consensual touch. non-consensual touch, period. Whether it's like I'm hugging you or getting into your personal space, period, versus I am forcing myself inside you or whatever, etc. Whatever level of that. I do not believe in non-consensual contact. I personally do not believe in non-consensual contact, and I know the pain of having it. And I know what it's like to be around sisters and brothers and trans folk, okay, and, oh my God, children and animals who've been attacked. It's a thing that haunts us. You can feel it in another person's energy. And this scar right here is the real reason why I am deciding for my first live here in the Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs group. I've never gone live in here before, but that scar right there is the exact reason why I was guided by my spirit guides to choose this as the first topic that we're doing a Reiki healing around. The lack of consent. Because when I learned on my healing journey with money, which, as a side note, is not over. I am actively on the journey. I walk the path. I am actively walking the path. I am nobody's guru. And I do have a story to tell because I've been on this path for a little while. For about 12 years professionally. But, you know, my whole life has its own money story, as I'm sure yours does. And by the way, if you're watching live, put hashtag live so I know that you're with me. Or if you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay so I know to love you up and thank you for holding space for this healing. With this, as I continued down my money journey, my healing journey around money and abundance, I learned a very, very simple shift around receiving sales as well as asking for the sale, because the phrase is blank and it is given. Blank and it is given. Anyone in here who knows anything about law of attraction or even, you know, scripture, tell me, fill in the blank. It's blank and it is given. Is it give and it is given? It's blank and it is given. Go ahead, type it in the comments below. Is it hope and it is given? Is it vision board and it is given? Is it get married to some rich person and it is given? Is it create and it is given? It's blank and it is given. Is it be pretty and it is given? Type it in the chat box, like, so that you can be on this journey with me. Thank you, Zaina. It's ask. It's ask and it is given. Right? It takes time for us to adjust into that, maybe, but it's an ask and it is given. It's the weirdest thing. The universe opens for those who will ask. And because of my own sales scars, that's right, Diana, ask and it is given. For my own sales scars, my own relationship with self-silencing and hiding myself in order to feel safe in plain sight, I would not ask. And I have been sold to and touched without being asked. So there was this thing of, I lost the appreciation for the ask. I used to think that sales just happen. If it just happens. The same way that people would talk about sex, of like, well, it just happened. Right? It just, you know, one thing led to another. No. One thing leads to another means nobody's conscious. Nobody's conscious, and therefore no one's safe. Whoa, it's not one thing leads to another. No. Donations don't just happen. Sales doesn't just happen. Sex doesn't just happen. With love and respect to all those who may have used that as an excuse or learned to say that in response to others, because there's some shame. Shame is shame is shame. Sales shame, sex shame. Same shame. Right? If there's shame around talking about sexual contact, like, oh, I don't want to say sex, I don't want to say penis, I don't want to say vagina. things happen down there. With love and respect to those who have that similar journey, because I've had a long self-silencing journey. We want to bring clarity and consciousness and grounding and healing to our relationship with asking for the sale. And lo and behold, the one thing that I lost, or I thought I lost, in being attacked, right? As well as being sold to. I thought, sis, I thought we were just having a conversation. I thought we were having a really powerful connection. Bro, I thought you were teaching me something. Why am I being sold to? Like, I thought we were going to hang out today and talk about positive stuff, and all of a sudden I'm being sold at. Like, all of this non-consensual sales, I personally made a connection between that and non-consensual touch. But the one thing that was missing is the ask. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Because I've also had sexual experiences that have been awesome! Yeah, and it was consensual. There was a question, can I go deeper? The answer was, okay. And we had a wonderful exploration, right? And this has happened plenty of times. So I know how great consent can be and how sexy consent can be. And then lo and behold, I noticed, wait a minute, I've bought a lot of stuff. And happily, I used to think there was, by the way, shout out, and take a look to see if this sounds familiar. Shout out to you as you're watching, fam. By the way, hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. You ever notice, this for me, I feel like, what's wrong with me? I can't receive sales. I can't charge for what I'm doing. But yo, if someone comes over here and tries to sell me a program, why is my credit card suddenly coming out and going on their end? Right? I'm happy to pay. I'm excited to buy. Right? I'm a, how do you say, hyperactive buyer. I love buying stuff. Shopping is so fun. Women shop for recreation, like that's allowed. So, oh snap, I'm gonna enjoy spending me some money. But if it ever comes for me asking for money, or for me asking for the sale, no, it has to be this like rigmarole of, oh my god, I don't know if I'm worthy, and I can't, and I'm taking money out of their pocket, and I'm sorry that I'm talented, I'm sorry that I'm visible, I'm sorry that I'm female, I'm sorry that I'm a healer, I'm sorry that I'm an entrepreneur, I'm sorry that I have bills to, I'm sorry that I have a team, I'm sorry I have a family to feed, I'm sorry, apologizing profusely inside of myself and also outside to the person who source may have attracted. I'm like, all right, go gadget, divine alignment. This person should be working with you. I'm sorry, I'm brilliant. And then I push them away. Versus, and like, if you are watching this right now and you're like, Victoria, I need to make some sales. I want you, this is the one takeaway, and now we're going to get to the Reiki clearing really quick, because it doesn't have to take long, it just needs to be clear. One thing you need to write down is, do you want my help with that? Do you want my help with that? Just ask them a question. If someone is telling you all of the issues that are going on, and you know that you can help them, don't coach them. Just ask, do you want my help with that? Because they may just want to be witnessed. When you ask for their consent, then you can share your programs, you can share your solutions, etc., but maybe they don't. Maybe they just want to be witnessed. And let's be okay with the fact that we have consent going here, that consent exists. Once you ask, the floodgates of ease and abundance open naturally for you, as well as the floodgates of ease and abundance receiving opens for the person who said yes. Right? Be kind to yourself. It really can be that simple. So with that being said, let's get to the Reiki clearing around this in particular of the day. So what I want you to do, if you are a Reiki master teacher or if you're a Reiki practitioner, draw your symbols. If you are not a Reiki practitioner, connect to your angels. Call on your ancestors. Call on your higher self. Connect to the earth beneath you. Take a deep breath in. And on your next exhale, see and feel a waterfall of healing white light pouring down through the crown of your head, all the way down your spine, cleansing and clearing your central channels, flowing out through your arms and hands, down through your legs and feet, rooting you into the earth. Open and relax and allowing. Calling in all angels. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for your presence. Thank you, force of nature, for always driving forward. Thank you, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother, and all mothers that I descend from. Thank you, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and all fathers that I descend from. Thank you. Thank you, Mother Gaia. I enter the flow of life and abundance that is always present, flowing to me and through me now. And so it is. Take another deep breath in. One more deep breath in. Do you want my help with that? Do you want my help with that? If you have more of a story that's opened up from us talking today, let me know if you want my help with that. And feel free to use that phrase, do you want my help with that? The next time you encounter someone whose source is brought across your path that you are divinely contracted to help and heal. I'm Sensei Victoria Whitfield. You can find me at naturaltuition.com. I'll go through the description if you want to join an upcoming challenge we got going. Long story short, I'm sending you so much love. I feel a tremendous amount of heat, that Reiki heat flowing between us right now. I want you to know it's an honor and a pleasure to get to be here in your presence. Tag a sister goddess below who needs to hear this, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.